It's not a surprise that the Biden administration had a different position than the incoming Trump administration vis-a-vis climate change policies. We know that the Trump administration is more openly fossil fuel friendly, particularly oil and gas industry domestically. So we might see some kind of reversal in some of the decisions taken under Biden, but I don't think we're going to see a complete reversal and the U.S. industries ditching investment in electric vehicles, which we have Elon Musk, a very good friend of President Trump, or ditching other climate targets. We're going to see a greater light shed on the oil and gas industry domestically, and we can discuss that shortly. But going back to Iran, I could hear contradiction in the outgoing energy secretary regarding the implementation of the sanctions, and B, the importance of having more oil available. Well, definitely, look, it's not an opinion, it's a fact. We saw the data under the former administration of Trump when he was president before Biden came to power. He managed to reduce Iranian oil exports to 500,000 barrels a day. He wanted to squeeze them to zero, but it was impossible. But still, it was 500,000 barrels a day. Under the Biden administration, we saw that figure, even in according to some resources, it has tripled, which clearly indicates a weak implementation of the sanctions, bearing in mind that the more sanctions you are imposed on a country, the more creative that country becomes in evading those sanctions. Under Trump, and depending on if any negotiations will happen on the nuclear deal, then we might see those sanctions being more enforceably implemented on Iran, and possibly a reduction in its oil exports.
You know, Carole, you make an excellent point there. And as we assess the implications of Trump 2.0 on the Middle East and on global energy and climate policy moving forward, U.S. oil production already at record highs. So what do you think his deregulation agenda, his drill, baby drill policies are actually going to mean in practice for the market?
Well, there's a difference between what I call a confidence boost, because under Biden, we felt that the oil and gas industry was the bad guy because they were doing things damaging the environment. They were war profiteering in 2022 when prices increased, and just to quote President Biden. So it was not really seen as a positive contributor to the American economy, to the American energy security. We're going to hear completely different rhetoric under the Trump administration. And you saw his pick for energy secretary. He picked an oil executive, and it did not come as a surprise because, mind you, in his previous administration, he also picked Rex Tillerson, the former CEO of ExxonMobil, to be his Secretary of State and to represent the U.S. on the international arena. So Trump, being a businessman before he became a politician, he has closer affinity to people who share that same background. And therefore, we're going to see greater sympathy towards the oil and gas production and a confidence boost. But at the end, irrespective of whether you are saying drill, baby, drill, if global markets don't send the supporting message for drill, baby, drill more, then it's unlikely it's going to lead to higher production. It all depends on the market signal, on the prices we're going to see in global markets, and on the cost of production that in the shale. So at the moment, it's a positive sign for the oil and gas industry in the U.S., but at the end, it is the market that will determine the direction of where production will go in the U.S.